Wait, that's not supposed to appear yet. Spoilers, there's a spoiler alert.
It's starting. Oopsie.
Says we're live. Okay.
And hey guys, welcome back to Talking Time with Caffeine, the only podcast where we drink caffeine and we talk about the issues that we care about.
Oh, and wait, before you start, by the way, Vandalia, I lied. This cup was full of Crystal Pepsi the entire time. I just lied that it was water because it looks like fucking water. Oh, and also, can I start with the Crystal Pepsi review?
Sure.
Okay, I have not drinking. I have not put my tongue against the liquids of this Crystal Pepsi yet. And I am about to, and apparently Vandalia and Shnick and Brandon all fucking did a review about Crystal Pepsi, so you know what? I'm gonna fucking do my review right here, right now on a different channel, so here we go. Huh. This tastes... Actually, wow. That's surprising. My parents tasted this, like, a couple hours before this podcast, and they... Well, both of them said that this tasted just like Pepsi. This does taste very similar to Pepsi. It just tastes sweeter. That's all it is. It just tastes sweeter.
So all of us have different reactions.
Apparently Birdman hates Crystal Pepsi.
I mean, it's not bad or anything. It just tastes sweeter than regular Pepsi, that's all.
We've gotta tell Brandon that we are live.
And the fact that it looks like fucking water. Oh!
Hi there, boys! Is this your Pepsi?
Pepsi floats down here.
You look like nice boys. I bet you have a lot of friends.
The fuck?
You'll float too.
Alright. Today we have 3 or 4 topics. One, I don't know if this is a filler, I don't know if this is a topic or not. MarioTube here is complaining about books of 2 different Windows versions being the same. And 2, Shnick is going to talk about the different Disney eras and how different between the old days, the Renaissance, and the 3D era that he hates so much. 3, a lifetime story with MarioTube, his journey with the monies, and for our main topic, spoilers. Shnick, we talking about.
Sorry.
No.
No, I'm sorry.
Shnick will be talking about the movie It. Warning, if you care about the movie, don't watch it past that point. I don't. I'm not watching it, so I don't care about spoilers.
When it comes up, we'll have this bar appear. That's the whole animation.
But,
yeah.
Well, first, we'll start with Mario's book rant.
This message is held for review. Birdman, Shithawk is calling. Show or hide? Well, not like I have an option, because it's already fucking showed.
He called me, I was like, nope.
Now it's after I bang this fucking thing on my plate. So am I talking first?
Yeah, back and forth.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'll talk about the book thing first. So, basically, I went to the library today, and I found a couple books. There was a guide for Windows 8, and I saw a lot of computer guides there for the more recent OSs of Windows. I saw a guide for OS X, and even for iPhones. But, right next to the guide for Windows 8 was a guide for Windows 8.1. This doesn't make any sense to me, because, first off, there's not that many differences between 8 and 8.1 as far as I am aware of. 2, the only difference I found that I'm aware of is the start button, which brings up the screen. So I guess the start screen button. So, I don't really understand why you need to write a whole fucking book for that. So, I mean, seriously, you produce a whole nother book for 8.1 for one fucking difference? Like, the fuck kind of backward shit is that? Oh, Windows 8.1, it has a start button? Oh, we gotta print everything again, but make little changes to the book. Money.
Overflow. Fizzy. Overflow.
So yeah, that was fucking weird as shit. I didn't understand why it was even like that. I don't even understand whoever published the books fucking did it twice. Like, seriously, one small difference. Are you fucking kidding me? So, what else? Oh yeah, I also got my fucking checking account opened up today with Chase, and I'm gonna get a debit card in about a week. I'm also gonna get my official state ID card sometime next week, hopefully. Right now I have a temporary version where it's only on paper. Expires next month. And the real card is just there forever. It doesn't expire.
Unlike licenses and temporary licenses expire within the year to 4 years.
Yeah. I don't know if it's like that for everywhere else, but here it is. It just doesn't expire. Yeah,
I think IDs don't expire here in Ohio either. Your temp expires once a year, and your license expires every 4 years. Yeah, I get renewed.
I mean, I don't know if you want to use the picture of you when you were 17 for when you're like in your late 50s. You know what I mean?
Like that's still me. That's me, officer. I looked good back then.
I looked good back then. What the fuck?
Of course, again, I've heard of people getting fake ID to look older but not younger.
Oh wow.
You get in clubs and bars, like, yeah, I'm 21, officer. Well, now they get it to I guess to pot places now, since it's legal states.
Yeah. How much does it cost to even get a state ID where you're at?
Like $20, I think.
Jesus Christ, $20 here in Phoenix. Here in Phoenix, it's only $12.
Oh, I can't. Maybe it's that too. I don't remember. I can't remember. I've been state ID in forever. But that.
$20 for a fucking state ID? Jesus Christ, man.
Maybe that's for a license. But yeah.
Oh, you want to see my ID?
Oh, apparently IDs now are like different. They scan on the scan bar now. My friend asked me to pick up some. Go to the store. He was working. Asked me to buy him some stuff for cigarettes for him, but I couldn't because my ID expired a few months earlier. Because I don't drive, so I didn't care. But like, oh, sorry, this is expired. You can't use it. You can't use this. But I'm 33 at the time. Like, it expired.
Yeah, I think my idea is like some kind of barcode looking thing on mine too.
Yeah. Like, so even though you're clearly old, if it expires, you can't buy your drinks.
Wow.
If you're a drinker.
Are you fucking serious? In both Denver and Phoenix, as far as I've seen, they only ask you for an ID if you look under 21. If you look like you're over 21, then I think you're in the clear. That's at least that's the message I got. Mainly in Denver, I got that message.
No, in Ohio, they take your ID no matter what. At least maybe I looked under 21 at the time. I don't know. I doubt it. But they scanned it and said expired. You can't buy stuff with this.
Jesus Christ, that's stupid.
Well, you think you had ID issues?
No. I remembered when I couldn't get my driver's license. I just had to go and get a normal state ID.
How much does it cost for you?
I think it was like $25 or something. I don't remember.
25 for a state ID, or are we talking something? No, we can't be talking something else because you don't drive. So
yeah, it's just a state ID.
$25 fucking dollars. Jesus Christ, Phoenix is apparently generous as fuck as far as I'm concerned, because we got Vandalia with 20, we got Shnick with 25, and we got me with 12. Fuck, man.
Well, I'm gonna look at the official price up real fast.
I feel like it should not be 25. Because that sounds really fucking weird. $25 only for a state ID, and obviously you can't use that as a driver's license or anything else other than, you know, identification. So that's all it's good for, just identification. It doesn't give you permission to do anything specific or special. I mean, other than getting a bank account open, maybe? I mean, that's the only thing I can think of. And probably some other stuff. Well, I guess getting alcoholic beverages, but I mean, I don't know. I guess that would be more basic stuff, though. Unlike driving. But then again, according to adults, oh, you're just a teenager that only got your license yesterday. In fact, I actually did get my, no, not license, ID. I got my ID literally issued yesterday. Not even joking. But, oh, you only got yours issued yesterday, so you're stupid. You don't know anything about IDs.
I can't find the prices.
You can't?
No, I looked up the Ohio BMV website to see the prices for it.
Really? Wow, that's surprising. What about my area? Phoenix. I mean, you could find the price, I assume. But anyways, so yeah, and then I went to a Chase Bank today, and I opened up a checking account, and I'm getting a debit card within a week. I think I said that already, but I'm not sure. Other than that, though, nothing else really. Other than the fact that I got Crystal Pepsis.
Oh, here it is. Cost for a new or renewed Ohio identification card is $8.50. Replacements or duplicate cards cost $7.50.
Oh, so getting one issued is only $8.50?
Apparently.
Right? Oh, so that's even cheaper than Phoenix, huh? Well, shit. I wonder what it's like for Shnick.
What price?
For state ID being issued.
I don't remember.
Here's
Oh, so
here's
it might not even be
here's
$25.
I thought. Let's see.
Shnick just randomly laughing.
I'm just putting together something for Mario's channel.
Oh no.
So, and now when people pay MarioTube for his editing skills, he can spend the money more easily. So I just have it on PayPal.
What? I would have to transfer the money to my bank, and then assuming I have the debit card already, then there you go. But apparently transferring money from PayPal to a bank might take 1 or 2 business days. Either that or that's getting it set up. I'm not sure.
Well, it takes that long to transfer it from the bank to PayPal, because when I pay you, you get paid directly. Pretty much like that. Anyways, it's time for the 2 long topics. Alright?
Because I'm infamous that way.
Yeah, alright. A few days ago, Shnick was ranting about the different Disney eras and how it's changed the different times.
Yeah, Yeah. Well, I was just describing to Vandalia about how I missed the time when Disney made 2D animated movies and now they do 3D pretty much exclusively. I was discussing how, well, Disney had their golden years ever when Disney himself was still alive, and then when he died in the middle of the production of The Jungle Book, from the late 60s to all the way to the late 80s, Disney was kind of lost without Walt Disney.
Wow, that's a long time.
Sure, they had a couple of good Disney movies during this time. Like, I heard a lot of people like some movies that I know people liked included Robin Hood, Winnie the Pooh, I think that one with the best friends, but then that's it. Black Cauldron, everyone hated.
It's okay. I saw it years later. It's okay, but it's like really dark for a Disney film.
Yeah. Let's see, Aristocats and Rescuers people didn't like too much.
And then Oliver's Company came up.
Yeah, they didn't really like that one either.
Of course, it didn't help that it came out at the same time as Land Before Time.
Yeah, Nostalgia Grade pointed out that it was kind of embarrassing that an ex-Disney animator did better than Disney themselves. But then Little Mermaid came along in 1989, and it kickstarted the Disney Renaissance, which ran all the way through the 90s until it ended with Tarzan in 1999.
Of course, it kind of started going downhill after Lion King a little bit, too.
Yeah, like, the thing is, everyone agrees that from Little Mermaid to Lion King, everything was amazing.
Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, and Lion King. Of course, I didn't really like the first 2 because those were girl movies back then.
But then Pocahontas was much more divided because, of course, Jeffrey Katzenberg, who was with Disney at the time, wanted a very mature story, and he foolishly believed that Lion King would bomb while Pocahontas would succeed, and it was the other way around. And then Katzenberg got fired from Disney not long after Lion King was completed. Well, actually, not long after Pocahontas and Toy Story came out, because truth is, he was partially responsible for Toy Story almost getting canned.
Oh, wow.
Of course, back to Pocahontas, anytime you do anything historically, it's going to have issues.
Yeah, well, then on the topic of Toy Story, Katzenberg, I hear, commissioned, I don't know if it was him, but it was someone, they commissioned the Black Friday reel. Like, you're able to see a storyboard of it. Basically, Woody is shown to be a completely unredeemable jerk.
But Toy Story was Pixar, right? Was Disney?
Toy Story was Pixar, but Disney was their. Disney didn't own them at the time, but they were their distributor. Yeah. And don't forget, in typical fashion, the distributor was trying to exert creative control.
Was that a good or a bad thing?
Bad thing at first, because the Black Friday reel was so bad that Disney was about to can the movie until the people at Pixar were able to do a complete 180 within a couple of weeks, and they were able to salvage it. And we have the movie we have today.
Wow.
And the thing is, even though I'm not a big fan of how prevalent 3D movies are nowadays, Toy Story remains one of my favorites. Only because it feels natural for Pixar to do 3D, you know?
Yeah.
So you think Pixar should be the 3D Disney and Disney should be the 2D Disney?
I'm not saying Disney can't do 3D, it's just that they should mix it up a little bit. Because it feels like every movie they made in 3D looks the same.
That's kind of the funny thing. You also mentioned before that Cartoon Network's 2D animation also can look the same with the
especially
cutesy look, I think you said.
No, I called it the bubbly look.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think that they can do 3D animation often if they choose to, but perhaps they should try taking different art styles if possible. Because I'll be completely honest with you, 3D animation, it seems like 3D animation is more susceptible to looking the same throughout different movies or shows, whereas 2D animation, it depends. If it's like a similar art style or the same person doing the different cartoons, then yeah, it's probably gonna look cookie cutter, but if it's different artists, then I mean, I don't think it could look cookie cutter. And I guess it depends.
I'll tell you one thing: the movies of the Disney Renaissance, I don't know what it is. They were all drawn similarly, but they each had their own unique look, their own unique colorings. Like, to me, stuff like Moana, Frozen, Tangled, and all that just looks way too similar.
Yeah.
Whereas, if I were to look at, I mean, sure, Pocahontas had different drawings, but then stuff like Hunchback, Hercules, Mulan, Tarzan, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, their characters were all drawn in a similar fashion, but for some reason they just do something with the style that just makes them look all unique in their own way.
It could have been influenced by different people, you know?
Yeah.
And are you saying that these are the same producers that are making these different movies?
Most of them are the same people. They might have different directors, but a lot of the artists, I believe, are the same.
Well, then they must have been really damn good artists, then, if they were able to pull that off.
What about...
Yeah, and most of those artists were let go, because the thing is, when 2D animation began to die in the mid-2000s, Disney finally gave up on it, and they only tried again twice, and their last effort, Winnie the Pooh, failed because they made the glorious decision to release it the same weekend as the final Harry Potter movie.
So,
but anyways,
what about this?
My big problem with animation nowadays is that there's less focus on the art and more focus on just doing it cheap. Like, everyone says, oh, why does this look cheap? This doesn't look good. And there's all these people jumping to the defense saying, oh, it's cheaper.
Of course, then again, sometimes, I think when I was watching the Nostalgia Critics review of the movie we do later, where he said that the cheap bungee cord for the one girl looked a lot better than the CGI for the other one, and that cost a lot more money to do.
What review was it?
Sibling rivalry review.
Sibling rivalry.
For it.
For it.
Yeah, they said when the one girl was doing the bungee cord, floating thing for $20, it looked awesome, but when they did the CGI expensive stuff, it looked terrible.
Huh.
So something apparently money doesn't take.
Well, I mean, that's kind of, I guess that would be somewhat different because, what Shnick's talking about is pure 3D animation where everything's 3D animated.
That's true.
What you're saying is a live-action film with CGI elements. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Now, I'm not saying that CGI and live-action can't go hand in hand. For example, Rogue One. Fucking Christ, dude. They perfected the CGI to a point where I didn't even know that there was CGI to begin with. And I'm not talking about the obvious stuff. I'm talking about, you know, having CG actors that look like actual people. It was only after I heard that it was CG actors and not actual people that I took a closer look at clips and noticed that, oh wait, yeah, this does look a little bit CG, but it looks really convincing. Like, they must have put tons of fucking money in that shit, because, you know, a lot of people thought that it was real people, but it's fucking not. So, it
and
can
the thing
go
is,
well.
but it's Disney for you, because the thing is, in 2 Marvel movies, Ant-Man and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, they use CG to de-age Michael Douglas and Kurt Russell, because 2 older actors, and they used CG to de-age them to make them look like how they did like 20, 30 years ago. And similar results. They, like, when I saw Kurt Russell on, like, Michael Douglas I didn't know about before Ant-Man, at least not very well, but I knew about Kurt Russell pretty well. And so when I saw Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 in theaters, I could not tell they had used CG on him. He looked straight out of the 1980s.
I know the same thing with like Rogue One, when they did the CGI of the Governor Tarkin. I thought it was like a similar actor. Like, hey, they found the actor looked just like him.
Or Princess Leia.
I don't know why, but I was able. Anytime I looked at Governor Tarkin, to me, it just did look like that he was pulled straight out of Star Wars Battlefront. But I don't know.
The Princess Leia one was, to me, looks a little bit more obvious, especially.
Really?
No, to me, the Princess Leia one was less obvious.
Yeah,
Really?
I'd say the same thing, actually. It's only after you notice that it's... no, it's only after you hear that it's CG'd that you take a closer look, and then you realize, oh, it does look CG.
Well, to me, the Governor Tarkin was less obvious. But anyway, Shnick, do you think that the Disney movies were similar when Walt Disney was still alive, or are they different?
I would say they had their differences. Like, I'll tell you one thing: Snow White looks pretty like, basically, I would say when Disney was still alive, they all looked similar, but they all had like minor little updates. Like, they were building on what they started with. Like, Snow White looks very ancient when you look at it, and then you go all the way to Jungle Book, the last movie he had any involvement on before his death, and it looks the most modernized of all of them.
Dumbo, you say?
No, Jungle Book.
Oh, Jungle Book. What was the last movie he made before he died, or was that the first one?
No, Jungle Book was... Sword in the Stone was the last movie that was released when he was alive, whereas Jungle Book they started production on, and he died in the middle of production. So...
Yeah, I like the Sword in the Stone. I like Sword in the Stone with the good Merlin.
Yeah, the good Merlin. Oh my god.
So yeah,
all I remember about the Sword in the Stone movie is that there's a joke at the end where Merlin visits King Arthur and he says, "I'm back from the 20th century."
Sure.
And he's wearing like a Hawaiian vacation shirt and everything.
Yeah. But then, like what do they call that period between the Renaissance and his death? The Dark Age or something like that?
I guess you could say it's the Dark Ages, because they were kind of lost without him. Like, they didn't know what to do.
I mean, like I said, they did have a few good things, like...
They did, yeah, I did say they had a few good things. It wasn't until the Renaissance when they got their magic back. And then they promptly went through another Dark Age in the 2000s when they were desperately trying to... Like, unlike all other animation studios, they tried to stick with 2D as long as they could. And I would say their movies weren't. Their 2D movies weren't bombing because they were 2D. They were bombing because they weren't good. Like Home on the Range. Oh my god.
Yeah. When you told me that about the Rescuers one time, I had like that. Like I had no idea that was in the 70s. I thought it was in the 80s or something.
Yeah, the first Rescuers was in the late 70s, and then everyone remembers the sequel more, even though the sequel barely got any promotion, and as a result, it flunked. It bombed.
Yeah, I watched the sequel. I went to the theaters watching the sequel to the Down Under version.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, so... But yeah, I'm not very happy that no one wants to experiment anymore. It's always got to be done for cheap. And Mario, I'm going to tell you the example I was going to tell you before the podcast.
Okay.
So they're doing Netflix is doing a revival of the Magic School Bus.
Yeah.
Classic educational series from the 90s that a lot of kids from the 90s fondly remember.
Hey, I remember watching it, and I'm only 2000s kid.
I used to read
trust me, they showed me some episodes in middle school.
I remember in the 80s they used to read the books of in kindergarten. I remember in kindergarten reading the books to us in story time.
I read like one book from Magic School Bus, and everything else I saw was the actual show. They showed the Magic School Bus as early as elementary. I don't know what grade specifically, but it was in elementary that they first showed it for me.
Yeah, well, they were showing me episodes as late as middle school, even though it was long off the air. So they're doing a revival on Netflix, and the animation style of the original, I mean, obviously it doesn't look theater quality because, you know, low budgets for TV shows, but still, it looked like effort was put into it.
Yeah.
The new series, we've gotten sneak peeks at it. I'm not even kidding you. It's done in cheap Flash animation that resembles Apple.
Oh no, do people even get that reference? I don't think they do.
Let's just say it's one of those disturbing kids videos. You know, the stupid Elsa and Spider-Man, Disney.
Shit.
Yeah, shit. Let's go with shit.
Yeah, look up fucking kids videos on YouTube. You'll find
More specifically, if you want to see the video we're talking about, look up Funny Finger Family.
Yeah, that. Specifically for the reference, that was fucking terrible.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, actually, I think I found something as equally, if not worse, than that, and I forgot about it until just now.
Oh, no.
But anyways, let's continue on.
Mm-hmm.
You have any else thing to talk about the different Disney eras?
Nah, I think I've covered everything.
Golden, dark, yeah.
I'd say right now we're in the dark ages of just animation in general because, well,
I said, everything. It's not about the art; it's about doing it cheap. And the sad thing is, there's people who defend it, or maybe not defend it, but they just say, "Oh, it's the reality." Oh, Flash. Why do they do it in Flash? Oh, because it's cheaper.
I don't watch it myself.
At least do it good.
I watched it. Yeah, I've heard good. I've heard good things about the DuckTales reboot. Different animation for that.
I don't know if that's done in Flash, but maybe it is, and it looks very simplistic compared to the original series. But I've heard the stories are very good. So,
well, I feel that animation as a whole has kind of lost itself because, well, we have Disney that's, I guess, not doing the best.
I mean, their movies are getting critically acclaimed nevertheless, but I'm personally not interested in them.
And then we have, obviously, Cartoon Network. We don't need to explain that. And then we have Nickelodeon, where they're trying.
Honestly, when it comes to
animation,
Nickelodeon and Disney do the best.
Not.
Of course, right.
Well, then again,
Right.
I mean, we do have the shit that Nickelodeon puts up with the fucking memes and all that. The memes portion.
Oh yeah, that.
Fuck that.
But
And also, live action shit. We're still doing that with Nickelodeon. I mean, can we not? I mean, still. But yeah, we have those three companies and probably more, like maybe Disney XD or the Disney Channel as a whole. We have those, and the animations there, you can clearly tell that they're just not very good, and they could be so much better. And I think we need to step away from the fact that animation is just. We need to step away from thinking, oh, animation is 100% about money. Like, okay, any business, yeah, you need to make money. That's kind of the point. But, you know, how are you going to make as much money as you would if you put effort and the quality into the actual product? Because
yeah, keep your customers coming back.
Because I feel that if the quality is good, then you'll probably get more money instead of having the quality cheap. But I also feel at the same time that somehow it's working the opposite way, where if it's good, then it'll make money, but if it's crap, it'll probably make even more money, if not as equal as the amount. That's how I feel it's working. There's some exclusions with that. For example, the Emoji Movie, that seems to be an exclusion to what my thinking, because obviously that kind of failed. But this just seems to be how it is, and I really don't understand why. Like, people do this shit all the time, where, oh, this crap is so good to watch. Like, no, it's not good to watch. Why are you watching it? I don't understand. Do you not have anything better to do? Like, or do you just not know what quality is when you see it? Because the fact of the matter is that we need to stop allowing these companies to make crap and make them either give us quality or fail. Because, I mean, that's just how simple it is. If it's crap, don't watch it. If it's not crap and it's actually good, then fucking watch it by all means.
People will beg for more.
Yeah, I just don't understand why people do that. I just can't get my head around that.
Oh, off topic, but still on topic a little bit. You know what's dead now? You know what's dead nowadays? That was happening when I was a kid, a teenager.
What?
Saturday morning. What?
Wait, what's the question?
So, do you know what's dead nowadays that was alive when I was a kid and teenager?
Oh, what?
Saturday morning cartoons.
I think that was there in the early 2000s as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, a little bit, but really, with Cartoon Network now, I used to go to my kid at ABC or whatever, or CBS, you could see these cartoons lined up. But now, I guess now Cartoon Network and 24-hour Cartoon Network, you don't need anymore. Like, oh.
24-hour Cartoon Network?
You know what I mean, but...
I never heard of a 24-hour Cartoon Network. Have you, Shnick?
Boomerang's technically one, but yeah.
But still, like, I don't know if you, like...
Oh, you mean a Cartoon Network, not Cartoon Network itself. Oh my fucking god.
Yeah, but anyways, like, that's the thing you look forward to looking up Saturday with cartoons. Was they used to preview them on TGIF, which is also dead, but it's a different story. But it's like the thing you woke up, watched cartoons on Saturday. What you did. Now Saturday you wake up like on the same channel. Oh, it's news, all news or all stuff no one cares about.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? When I was a kid, it wasn't Saturday morning cartoons. It was basically Friday night cartoons. Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network did it. Nickelodeon had Friday night Nicktoons at one point, and also You Pick Live, which I think they did every night.
Yeah, Nickelodeon has Saturday night stuff when I was growing up.
I mean Friday night.
Well, no,
and then Cartoon Network had Cartoon Fridays.
No, we had Saturday night, the Snick block.
Oh yeah, Snick.
Oh
then,
my god.
And of course, Friday was TGIF on ABC. But yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I also love how the other networks that did have cartoons don't do that anymore. Like, you know, the fucking miscellaneous networks that would have the morning cartoons? I think, wasn't ABC one of them?
Yeah. That was like one of the main ones.
I believe also Fox Network did that as well. Like,
First, and they did it too, but I think they were, Fox was more afternoon, after school, afternoon stuff, like Disney Afternoon.
No, I'm pretty sure when I was a kid, I saw Fox Network cartoons in the morning. I guarantee it.
Maybe it was.
I don't know anything. I don't know anything about afternoon, but I can guarantee you that in the morning. Yes.
When I was growing up, it was more in the afternoon block, like the Disney Afternoon. Because that was the 80s and 90s. So
either time zone or your network did it differently. But,
of course,
then after the Disney Afternoon died, they ended up doing one Saturday morning.
And I said this was the 80s and 90s, so, you know.
Oh, true.
Different times.
And also, I love how Japanese animation seems to be doing a lot better than American animation.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of anime movies that are getting wide releases in other countries, and they're making a lot of. They're actually making decent money, but the U.S. nope, gotta be cheap 3D.
Especially nowadays. Speaking of animation, I think animation in Japanese American have gone through 3 stages. First was the Speed Racer era, where the dubs were terrible.
Well, okay. Dubs in the early days were just kind of bad to begin with, so, I mean, you gotta give it some slack.
They're like, blah, 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 one word said.
I mean, I don't know I don't know if that's like when they started doing dubs. If it is, then I will give it slack, but, I mean...
Yeah, and really, they're like, oh no! Their mouths move like mile a minute, and they say like 2-3 words.
Yeah, they haven't quite perfected that yet back then.
And then came the 90s and 2000, good quality translation dubs, but censored the hell out of everything.
Yeah, and some of the voice actors were very over the top. And then we get to the modern era where the dubs are very good, actually. I'm sure you get a lot of weeaboos that argue otherwise, but all the dubs I've seen nowadays are actually very good.
And plus, they're not as censored as they used to be, with people being more accepting about stuff nowadays. They were in the 90s.
Oh, and the second era that we mentioned, I would also call that the 4Kids era.
Oh yeah,
because 4Kids was the one who got a hold of most of the anime. Mm-hmm.
Like Sailor Moon, where instead of having lesbians, let's have touching cousins, because that's much more appropriate.
Oh yeah. Then, 4Kids got a hold of almost everything. I think Dragon Ball was like the one thing that 4Kids didn't get. I think Funimation had them from the beginning. I think, anyway.
And then there's, like, Saban had some stuff, too, I think.
Yeah, Saban was, like, one of the first companies to distribute anime in the U.S., but their dubs weren't very better. They weren't much better, but at the very least, they were more accurate.
You just made me remember my library had a couple animes I found on DVD, and then a bunch of mangas.
Yeah. I had a KH manga at one point.
Oh yeah, I read a Cage manga when I was in middle school as well. Actually, I never got to read the second series though.
I think you mentioned it on the podcast of that episode, or somebody did.
I want to read the second series because I liked the first one.
I heard they canceled it. I don't know if they ever finished it.
No, I had was basically adapting the first few days of Twilight Town and Cage 2.
Yeah,
and then at the end they teased a follow-up where Sora wakes up.
Sora wakes up? Like, wait, what?
At the beginning of the second game, so the first 7 days is Roxas.
Wait, are you describing different points of the manga, or like?
Yeah, like basically what the manga adapted.
So you just described it out of order, is what you're saying?
No.
What?
The first volume I had adapted the first few days of the Roxas part, and there was an advertisement at the end that made note of the second volume where Sora comes in.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, I guess I confused Traverse Town with Twilight Town. My bad. I don't know how I did that.
A lot of people do that sometimes. But yeah, I heard they canceled it. I don't know if that was just the American translation of it. Because you go online, you can only look it up. You can only see up to the battle at where they reunite with Kairi and Riku. After that, I can't find any more issues of it online, so I don't know if it's...
All I know of about the manga is that there was a whole series for the first game, and then possibly a whole series for the second, and that's all I knew of.
Plus, I heard it's a lot darker too.
The series for KH1 didn't really feel all that dark, to be honest. I don't know about the second, though. I mean, if anything, this manga for the first game, if anything, it just kind of felt like... I don't know, it felt like what you would expect. A kind of animation, but in a storyboard fashion. Ugh, stutter. Storyboard animation fashion. And, I mean, I don't know how else to describe it, really. Oh, and without selection or anything. Oh, and yes, Sora does use the Kingdom
English
Key the entire
version
time.
of Volume 4 only came out in May this year.
For what? The second
KH2
series?
manga.
Oh, wow. That's surprising.
Yeah.
Well, that took him forever.
Yeah, I was just looking on Amazon for that, but okay.
Oh, off topic real fast. Like KH. On VidMe, it's now up to 4 upvotes and 2 shares.
What is?
The video you just uploaded on YouTube, edited on VidMe.
But, well, we know that, but the viewers don't know that.
So, alright. MarioTube here is editing my KH Let's Play for me, because I don't want to have a brain aneurysm right now. I figure it out. But he's an excellent editor. But I uploaded it on YouTube and VidMe so far is getting more views than YouTube. Sorry, YouTube.
Oh, and if anyone wants me to edit videos for them, come talk to me on my channel. Sorry. I just wanted to get that out there. Since you mentioned it, I figured that.
But yeah, so yeah, to wrap it all up, Disney kind of falling on the lane side. Except, of course, again, I think they have right now. They have more. Disney is less in animation and more in the Marvel and Star Wars and ESPN and other stuff, other products. I think.
Did you just say ESPN?
Yeah, they own ESPN.
What?
Yeah.
The fucking sports thing? How is that possible? They can't own sports. What the fuck? What the? Are you fucking serious? Wait. Who owns ESPN?
Disney. And they own ABC
What?
too. And they own
We're
ABC
talking
and
about the
Freeform.
sports network, ESPN, right?
Yes.
How the fuck does Disney own ESPN? I don't fucking understand that.
Money.
Well, what the fuck are they gonna do with the sports network? Fucking, here comes Mickey Mouse in the 40-yard section. Oh, he's going for the touchdown. Oh, touchdown. Whoa, fucking Mickey Mouse wins the goddamn game. Like, what the fuck? Oh my god, you're gonna fucking make me lose sleep.
Oh my, how long are we into this?
49 minutes and a half, 49 and a half minutes.
How long do you want it to go for?
How long it takes. Anyways, wrapping up, yeah, animation,
high.
it's weird now. Alright? And since just now somebody asked for the movie, alright, it's time. Mario, do your stuff.
Wait, what?
What do you mean
Oh
Mario
yeah.
do his
Oh
stuff?
yeah. Boop. If anyone doesn't want spoilers, then you should probably click away. If you don't care about spoilers, then stay.
Okay. Did they have enough warning?
Well, I mean, there's a spoilers bar now, so yeah.
Okay, so today I went to go see It, and I gotta say, I enjoyed it. And the thing to know is that even though the clown, Pennywise, is in all the trailers, the thing is, he's in it quite a bit, but not as much as you would think. I'll tell you one thing, compared to the Tim Curry version from the original miniseries, he's not over the top with his humor. I mean, he definitely acts funny at moments. Like, for instance, there's one scene where he's like gripping one of the kids, and like the kid's like crying because he doesn't want the clown to kill him, and then the clown starts fake crying with like.
Oh, also, you told me. Apparently, in the original movie, they are adults in the 80s, and here they're kids in the 80s.
Yeah, and so when they do the movie when they're adults, it's going to be set in the 2010s.
Oh, so
in fact,
I guess
more
reincarnation.
specifically, the first movie that's out right now is set in 1989. And since it comes back every 27 years, the second movie's going to be set in 2016.
Wow.
So, hey, that's fitting. You thought 2016 was the year of evil, right?
Yeah, I did actually.
It was the year of death.
Yeah, and so yeah, there were other silly scenes with the clown, like the dancing clip I keep showing you. But yeah, from what I've read, the movie is a lot more faithful to the book. Like in the miniseries, they think, oh, what weapon should we bring? And then they're like, oh, a slingshot. And then Nostalgia Critic thought that was really stupid. Whereas in the movie, I don't know if this is accurate to the book. I don't know if they actually did use a slingshot in the book, but there is no slingshot in the movie. They bring a bunch of weapons, like they bring pikes from a fence that were broken off from a fence that's used to actually stab the clown in the head at one point early in the movie. But another weapon they use is a bolt gun that one of the kids uses to put down sheep. And the overall thing is that the whole movie is about the kids learning to face their fears. And it's like a whole coming-of-age story. And the thing is, it was really fun to watch the kids interact with each other. It was honestly like I was watching The Goonies, you know?
Yeah.
Because not a lot of movies where kids are the main focus come out.
Yeah, I think I watched the review of it, where he said, I watched the review of it, where he said, it was Stand By Me plus a killer clown.
Yeah. I guess you could say that, even though I haven't seen Stand By Me in a very long time.
Neither have I.
And the thing is, the whole aesthetic of the movie is like a movie out of the 1980s. It has opening credits where it's just simple text over the opening scenes. That's what a lot of late 80s, early 90s movies would do. Hell, a lot of movies throughout the 70s, 80s, and 90s would do that. Then they show you title cards for the year, for the month of what particular scenes are set in, and the text has this like weird illumination effect that looks like it's a 1980s movie.
Wow. So how's the character development for each? How's the character development?
Oh, it's definitely much darker than what's in the miniseries, because the miniseries is very light on content. I mean, it has some dark stuff in it, but yeah, you get to see most of the individual characters' problems. They focus more in on the girl, the one kid that has supposed allergies, the main kid himself, the one who stutters and has the little brother who dies at the beginning. But then less focus is put on the farm kid who brings the bolt gun. The kid with glasses isn't shown very, like, he has one of the more badass lines towards the end of the movie where they all stand up to the clown. But yeah, they mostly focus in on the fat kid. The fat kid's the one who explains the legend to them. But yeah, like there's actually, and they do include more mature elements. Like it's established that the girl's dad basically wants to rape her. And she escapes into the bathroom. At one point, he comes into the bathroom looking for her, and then she actually smashes something over his head and kills him. But then the clown takes her hostage in the sewers right after.
Hey, Snick, are you reading the chat?
Yeah.
Okay.
I gotta go read the chat. I'm scared now.
I expect to agree with you.
Oh, he is. They are.
Oh.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah. I did my mini review on the Crystal Pepsi in the beginning of the podcast.
Yeah, I did a review on my channel. We all did.
If you don't want to bother going to the beginning, basically, the main thing that I said that's really important is that Crystal Pepsi tastes like regular Pepsi, but a bit sweeter. That's basically all you need to know.
The way I see it, just tastes like Sprite.
But yeah, he's right. I guess when you for TV, if it was for TV, it's probably toned down a whole bunch than it is for actual theater release.
But yeah, the thing is, when it comes to violent imagery, there is a lot of it. Like, there's one point where the girl hears voices of all the things the clown killed in a sink, and then there's one point where she cuts her hair, and for most of the movie, her hair's short. The hair she cut off actually comes out of the sink, it gets a grip on her, and then the sink just spits out a lot of blood that covers the entire bathroom.
Jesus Christ, that's a lot of blood.
I think I remember that in the I remember that scene in the TV movie.
Oh, it was there?
It probably wasn't as bad, but she saw blood everywhere, and all of a sudden, when her dad came in, it was clean.
Well, the thing is, the dad comes in this version too, but the thing is, the blood doesn't go away. We only know that he can't see it because he's like, what blood?
Oh yeah, and the arm scene too is totally different.
What arm scene?
You mentioned it.
Oh yeah, you mean do you mean the little brother at the beginning?
Yeah,
Yeah, because in the mini-series, all it shows when the clown, like, tries to kills the little brother, in the mini-series, all you see is him showing his teeth, and then you see him grabbing the kid, and you see the kid screaming, and then just cuts to his casket at his funeral. You don't see a funeral in the movie, and in the movie, the clown actually grabs him, bites his arm off. There's one little detail I didn't notice, but you can actually see the arm being dragged into the sewer as he's trying to crawl away from it. And then the clown reaches a hand and grabs him and pulls him in. I don't know if that happened in the book. Like, from what I've read in the book, the clown just leaves him to bleed out near the gutter. But that's, I don't know.
Apparently the guy in chat says he's read the book.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I know that one thing they had to cut from the book was that one thing they did as a sort of ritual, or was basically they made all the boys had sex with the girl, like it was an orgy.
What?
And they obviously couldn't include that because we don't watch child porn, obviously.
True.
And not to mention, the thing they do instead is kind of like a blood pact.
Now we got the whole gang drinking Crystal Pepsi. Oh my god.
Uh-huh. It helps that this actually came out not long after the original miniseries.
Wow.
This was the logo for Pepsi back in like the late 80s too.
Different. Oh yeah, it was cut in the movie.
Well, that's why I said they cut it, because it would have gotten the movie an NC-17 rating easily. And not to mention, it was on. They chose to do it a different way anyway. Is that right?
Yeah.
So yeah, but the thing is, the violence is not very common. Like, none of the kids get killed in the movie. While there's one bully that, let's see, after the little brother, only 2 more of characters die on screen. Well, you see both the dad of the girl and the dad of one of the bullies get killed, but when it comes to the kids, all you see is after the little brother is one bully dies, gets charged at by Pennywise, and his death is completely off screen, and then another bully, one of the kids gets into a fight and he pushes him down the well, and you see him rather violently smash against the walls as he falls down the well.
I think I remember in the miniseries, one of the bullies was pulled through a small pipe.
All I know is that in the book and I think the miniseries, 3 of the bullies die and 1 survives to the adult part. But I think in the book and the miniseries, the 1 survivor was the leader of the bullies. But the thing is, it's the leader of the bullies who gets thrown down the well, and then the other 2 survive, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, we have 5. Oh, now we have 4 live viewers. We had 5 live views per second.
And see, that's why the movie had different themes other than just the killer clown, because it's like a coming-of-age story where the kids learn to face their fears. And the way they defeat the clowns by just simply saying they're not afraid of him. And because the thing is, the clown wants to feast on their fear, and when they have no fear, it would starve, and therefore it's defeated, and there you go. Like, it's like, let's just say his death scene, quote unquote, is not over the top like in the miniseries.
Speaking of miniseries, the guy in chat probably might know this or not. Do you know what year the adult in the miniseries the adult era took place in? I can't remember if it was the same year as the movie takes place in the kid age, or they were different years. I know they were both in the 80s, but I don't know if they were. So I can't remember when I watched it originally. It was based on.
If I remember correctly, the miniseries was just the same years as the book. Because the thing is, the miniseries came out not long after the book. The book came out in '86, the miniseries in 1990.
So who knows? Maybe the adult. Maybe all the adults are fighting Pennywise in the miniseries. The kids are fighting him in the movie at the same time.
The one thing I'm curious to see is who ends up playing the adult versions of the kids in the sequel, because I think the kids themselves picked out what celebrities they'd want to play their adult counterparts in the sequel. But then, if you can believe it, the kids from the original miniseries said they might. No, a fan theory is that they wanted the kids from the miniseries to reprise their roles in the sequel, and 2 of them actually expressed interest. That's probably not going to go down, and even if it did, they'd have to find someone else for the main guy, because in the miniseries, when he was a kid, he was played by Jonathan Brandis, who committed suicide.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's fucked.
Yeah.
Was it known
and then
why?
Curiously, you know what's... You know everyone says that the movie and the book in general are associated with the number 27 because it said that it comes back every 27 years. Bill Skarsgård, who plays Pennywise in the movie, is now 27 years old.
Oh god.
Jonathan Brandis, he died at the age of 27. And
Conspiracy theory.
this movie came out 27 years after the miniseries.
Coincidence? I think not.
And curiously, the same year Jonathan Brandis committed suicide, John Ritter, who played one of the adults in the miniseries, died from a ruptured aorta.
Oh god damn.
Yeah.
Did they play the same character or different characters?
I think they played different characters. Yeah.
So, was the clown's backstory the same? You know, or
They do hint. They do drop very subtle hints at its origins, and I think the origins are just the same as the books. Like at one point, when the clown kidnaps the girl, you can look down its throat, and you see the deadlights, which are its explained origin in the book.
Yeah, I remember that catchphrase in the miniseries. Don't look at the deadlights.
And that's one that actually, because the deadlights put whoever looks at them in a coma state, and sure enough, she's in a coma state, and it takes the fat kid kissing her to wake her up.
Wow.
But yeah, it was basically the way the kids behaved felt like an R-rated Goonies. Like they curse a lot. And interactions are like bickering at each other all the time, but they're still friends. Thing is, though, the bullies were, I think in the book and the miniseries, the bullies are about the same age as the kids, but the thing is, in the movie, the bullies look like they're freaking high school students, whereas the kids are like middle school.
The hell?
Yeah.
Real, like the older bullies.
AKA possible child abuse.
So at the end, they probably scare the clown away or something. So they kill him in the first battle.
Well, the thing is, in the miniseries, they fired a slingshot at its head. Light, like a hole appears in his head, light pops up, he does a frickin' somersault, and then he falls into a hole, and there's like a weird stop motion effect as he goes down. But in the movie, it backs away because it understands that the kids aren't afraid of it, and it can't feed on them. So it slowly approaches a hole, hangs off the edge, and as its forehead starts melting away, kind of like the way Voldemort did in the last Harry Potter movie, but a little bit more graphic because you see blood, with a final utterance of fear, it falls down the hole.
Wow.
So in the miniseries, they thought they killed it, they didn't, and in the movie, they know that it's still not dead.
In the movie, they know it's gonna come back. And they basically do a little blood oath promising to return if it comes back.
So any more things to talk about in the movie?
I could do another imitation of the Pennywise meets Georgie scene.
Yeah, so overall, your overall 5 stars, 10 out of 10, what do you think of the movie?
Here's my ticket.
Is your ticket your review of the movie?
I'm just showing my ticket.
Well, that's a weird reply to Vandalia's question.
What the? Oh, okay. Well, I definitely liked the movie a lot. It's actually very hard for me to assign ratings to anything, but from what I can tell, if you enjoyed the book, you're definitely going to enjoy the movie.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and the thing is, I didn't realize this until after I looked it up, but the movie is actually breaking box office records.
Oh, wow.
On both Thursday night previews and on its opening day, the movie actually ended up becoming the highest grossing Thursday night preview and opening day for both an R-rated movie and, well, for Thursday night previews, it was the highest grossing R-rated Thursday night preview and highest grossing Thursday night preview of a horror movie, beating out Deadpool. And then on opening day, it ended up breaking the same records. The only difference is that in the case of horror movies, it fell a little bit short of Paranormal Activity 3, but it's still the highest opening day for an R-rated horror movie. And on both Thursday night previews and opening day, it beat out the record set by Deadpool. Currently Deadpool, I believe, is the highest grossing R-rated movie. And if it stays on track, it could actually beat Deadpool.
Wow. I bet you Brandon would want it to beat Deadpool.
Yeah, because the thing is, it's getting very good reviews, and there's a lot of good word of mouth. In fact, when I walked out of the theater, there were two women standing in the hallway as I was walking out, and they actually asked me, "How is it?" And I was, "How is it? Did you like it? Is it good?" And I say, "Yes."
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go, folks. Shnick seal of approval.
Yeah, the Shnick seal of approval. It's not going in the bag of miscarriage failures, like what Brandon would say.
The Schnicklish approval sticker.
Alright.
Yeah, no Schnicklish needed.
Alright, so, Gil, you have anything else to say?
Oh, I have something good to say.
What are you doing in the sewer? Storm blew me away. Blew the whole circus away. Can you smell the circus? There's peanuts, cotton candy, hot dogs, and popcorn. Popcorn! Is that your favorite? Uh-huh. Mine too. Because it goes pop, 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 pop. Pop, 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 pop.
Insert maniacal laughter.
Hey.
I think I should be going home now. Without your boat? It's like you said. Bill's gonna kill you. Here. Take it. Take it, Georgie.
And then you can figure out the rest, but there you go.
Alright. And with that, remember folks, if you like horror movies, go check this out. Shnick approves. Apparently Disney owns everything. They're terrible animation now. And there's no...
Their 3D doesn't look bad, it's just bland.
And there's no difference between Windows 8 and 8.1. It's their first start button.
And now I finished the Sprite. I mean, Pepsi.
You mean Crystal Pepsi?
And with that, remember, join us next week for another podcast or on our channels for other stuff. Because we have other stuff too.
And remember to drink your water. I mean Crystal Pepsi. Oh, sorry, I get the two confused because this looks like fucking water.
Oh, sorry. Say what you need to say again.
I said, and drink your water, I mean Crystal Pepsi. Sorry, I get the two mixed up because this looks like fucking water.
I have one more quote to end off the podcast, but give your outros.
And with that, enjoy the randomness. See ya!
Bye-bye. Have Pepsi.
This isn't real enough for you, Billy? I'm not real. It was real enough for Georgie.